The 2016 Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada season is here. A cross-country journey and 12 weeks of competition will decide the future of the next generation. The roar starts here. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada is the first step on the path to the PGA Tour. With 12 events from coast to coast, the tour makes its way across Canada, showcasing fierce competition at every stop.
Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada has been a great experience and a great stepping stone for my career.
During my time on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada, I've learned that you really have to play well week in and week out. There's a lot of good players out here.
The 2015 season featured 6 incredible playoffs, 5 champions under the age of 25, and a record-breaking 4 consecutive top 5 finishes by Order of Merit winner and Player of the Year, J.J. Spawn.
Being on the top of the Order of Merit really gave me some belief that I could do this, and if I keep doing what I've been doing all year, it would be sustained and be able to finish there. So that's kind of what set me to that next goal.
And the next goal on that journey? The Web.com Tour, where 6 former Mackenzie Tour members earned their PGA Tour cards in 2015. A true proving ground for success, the Mackenzie Tour continues to springboard its former champions into the PGA Tour spotlight. Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada alumni are having a great 2016 on the PGA Tour.
There's your champion. James Hahn wins for the second time. Consecutive years with victories on tour.
James Hahn's victory at the Wells Fargo Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina is the 125th all-time by a former player from the Mackenzie Tour, and the second alumni victory this season. This was Hahn's second PGA Tour victory, his first coming in 2015 at the Northern Trust Open.
Is it enough? Does it make it? Yes, it does!
It was a big goal of mine to win a golf tournament, something that I had my hopes set for. It's still incredible that I can go home and pick up the trophy and remember the week that I had at Riviera. I feel like I'm progressing in the right way, and hopefully in a couple of years I'll have a couple more trophies.
A member from the class of 2013, Tony Finau broke through with his maiden victory earlier this year in Puerto Rico.
There's your champion, Tony Finau, with a birdie on the 3rd extra hole to win the Puerto Rico Open.
The win was just another step on his journey from the Mackenzie Tour to the Web.com Tour and now the PGA Tour. Finau posted 16 top 25s on the PGA Tour last year, including 5 top 10s. He climbed to 43rd in the FedEx Cup in his first full season on the PGA Tour and put himself into contention for PGA Tour Rookie of the Year honors. He set the table for his success early on.
That's the luxury of playing so well last year. I have the luxury of knowing I have every week to play and perform every week. So my expectations this year was to win. That's all I wasn't looking at Ryder Cup. I wasn't looking at getting in the top 30 at the FedEx. I feel like winning just takes care of that. That's what my goal was every week that I teed it up. I do feel like I'm a champion, and now I've won at the PGA Tour level. So moving forward, I hope I can just kind of spring off this and continue moving forward in my career.
Coming up, we break down the 2016 Mackenzie Tour schedule and check in with the Canadians at the next level.
I'm out here every week competing against these guys. I'm still trying to win each week, still trying to go out and do my best.
This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Season 4 of the Mackenzie Tour, PGA Tour Canada, and the battle for the 5 Web.com Tour cards features a run of 12 events from May to September, highlighted by 2 new tournaments. The season tees off this week in Vancouver, British Columbia at the Freedom 55 Financial Open. American Drew Weaver survived a 5-man playoff at Point Grey Golf and Country Club to hoist his first ever Mackenzie Tour trophy. He finished the season in the 9th spot on the Order of Merit.
We're all just very, very fortunate and thankful to have the Mackenzie Tour to build a confidence and momentum and hopefully make that leap to the next level.
For the second event of the season, the Tour heads across the Strait of Georgia to Uplands Golf Club, where Toronto's Albin Choi took the Bayview Place Island Savings Open presented by Times Colonist for his first ever title last season.
Everybody out here has the game. We've all played well. We've all played well under pressure. The skill level is all there. It's just who can be in the right frame of mind in the right time.
A new tournament and a new venue will occupy the 3rd slot on the Mackenzie Tour schedule, when competition heads to Kelowna, British Columbia for the Golf BC Championship. Ranked as one of the top 50 golf courses in Canada, the breathtaking Gallagher's Canyon Golf and Country Club will challenge players with its par 72, 6,800-yard layout and unrivaled scenery. Continuing the trek east, the Tour makes its annual stop in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for the Siga Dakota Dunes Open. Situated in the heart of one of the hippest cities in Canada, the Dakota Dunes Golf Links is where PGA Tour veteran Michael Letzig moved into the top 10 on the Order of Merit with a victory. The eastbound adventures continue with a stop in Winnipeg, Manitoba for the Players' Cup. Always a fan favorite, this event brings out the stars of the ice to benefit Winnipeg's youth through the Winnipeg Jets True North Foundation. Last year, 23-year-old CT Pan closed like a veteran with 4 birdies in his final 7 holes to take the lead and the title in Winnipeg. The win launched Pan into the top 5 in the Order of Merit, where he would stay to clinch his Web.com Tour card at season's end.
It's been amazing. It was one of my goals to get in the top 5 and to get to the next stage.
From Winnipeg, the Tour motors over to Thunder Bay, Ontario for the Stahl Foundation Open presented by T-Baytel, signifying the halfway point on the Mackenzie Tour schedule. This is where eventual Order of Merit winner JJ Spawn broke through with his first professional victory.
It's all about grinding it out up here because the fields are so deep and you never know where you're going to fall, depending on how you play each week.
The top 3 on the money list at this point in the season earn a special exemption into the PGA Tour's RBC Canadian Open at Glen Abbey the 4th week of July.
Tell us who you are, how old you are, where you're from.
So this year the Tour has asked me to do a video diary.
Hello, friend.
Last season, we launched a new feature on This Is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada called The Foursome.
Is it on?
We gave 4 guys video cameras to document their lives on and off the tour, and then waited for the footage to roll in.
I'm getting set to go up the grouse grind in North Vancouver here. Halfway mark here. As you can tell by my breathing, it's not easy.
Here comes a heater. Oh, boom!
Over the course of 12 events, we traveled with the foursome as they made their way across Canada, getting a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on when the competition day is done. From cookouts to softball games and everything in between.
Live from Ottawa. It's Saturday night.
The guys on the Mackenzie Tour definitely make the most of their time traveling across country. The self-proclaimed trailer park boys of Chris Ross, Donald Constable, Clayton Rask, and Bob Bell took entertainment to a whole new level.
Travel days, we get to stop at Timmy Hortons. Honey crullers.
The boys are back fishing. I caught a tree.
The road show even continued after the season ended.
Trailer Park Boys, back at it. Here we go. Q School, second stage. You know what? Welcome to the tour.
When the Trailer Park Boys took our cameras with them to the second stage of Q School.
Chris Ross here, stage 2 of the Web.com Q School. It's gonna, bring you through the life. You guys remember that guy, huh? the back of the parking lot here, all the way. That's my commute. I learned that at Mackenzie Tour, PGA Tour Canada. A lot of good players out here. Hey guys, a couple days after web.com Q School, successfully qualified for final stage on the number. You gotta say something. You got. This is. Say this is. And say on the final stage.
On the final stage.
Woo!
Trailer Park Boys out.
Coming up next.
There's an extra amount of pride when you throw that Canadian flag over your back.
We talk Olympics with Canadians on the PGA Tour.
Thank you.
Yeah, bon appetit.
And look back at the great moments from 2015. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. The Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada makes its first of 3 straight stops in Alberta at the inaugural Oil Country Championship in Edmonton, when it returns to action after the RBC Canadian Open. From Edmonton, the tour then heads north to Fort McMurray for the Syncrude Boreal Open presented by Acon. Over the last 5 years, the region has been a great host for the Mackenzie Tour. But the devastating fires that forced nearly 90,000 residents to evacuate their homes also destroyed the clubhouse at the Fort McMurray Golf Club. And while the Mackenzie Tour decides how to proceed with the competition, they will assist in relief efforts by raising money for the Canadian Red Cross. For its final stop in Alberta, the Mackenzie Tour heads to Calgary for the ATB Financial Classic, teeing up the 9th event of the season at Country Hills Golf Club. Last year, Daniel Murnicky closed with 4 birdies to earn his first Mackenzie Tour title.
There's a ton of really good players out here. If you're able to finish in the top 5, that's quite an accomplishment. Being able to have playing privileges here the following season is a success.
The tour soars east towards Ontario for the National Capital Open to support our troops in Ottawa, where fierce competition led to the 4th playoff of 2015 between Sam Ryder and Ontario native Taylor Pendrith. Ryder clinched the title on the 2nd playoff hole, vaulting 9 places into 2nd on the Order of Merit.
It's been a quick season. I think one of my goals coming into the year was that top 10, because you're going to be at final stage, so you're going to be technically a member of the web.com tour next year. Being in the top 5 just makes it a little sweeter.
The newly rebranded Cape Breton Open moves to Bell Bay Golf Club in Bedeque, Nova Scotia. It's the last event of the schedule where players can earn their way into the 60-man field at the season-ending Freedom 55 Financial Championship. Last year, a final round charge by CT Pan and stellar play by Taylor Pendrith forced the season's 5th playoff. But it was CT Pan who captured the title on the 2nd playoff hole for his 2nd victory of 2015.
Winning is not easy, and I'm glad it happened twice this year for me. This is my rookie year, and this is all I can ask for.
The top 60 players on the Order of Merit retain exempt status and earn a coveted spot in the season-ending Freedom 55 Financial Championship at Highland Country Club in London, Ontario. It's one more opportunity to move up into the top 5 and earn status on the web.com tour. And that's exactly what Jason Miller did, surviving the season's 6th playoff to earn his first Mackenzie Tour victory and the 5th spot in the final 5. Here's a look at the complete schedule. At each regular Mackenzie Tour event, 2 sponsor exemptions will be awarded to current or former members of Golf Canada's national amateur team. Alumni of that team to have played on the Mackenzie Tour include PGA Tour stars Graham Dillette, Adam Hadwin, and Nick Taylor. The race to finish in the top 5 on the Order of Merit and graduate to the web.com tour heats up as players compete to earn a spot in the field of 60 at the season-ending Freedom 55 Financial Championship. Proving once again that the Mackenzie Tour truly is the first step on the path to the PGA Tour, a combined 65 grads are teeing it up on the PGA Tour and web.com tour this week, including Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan's own Adam Hadwin. The 2-time Mackenzie Tour champion has had a solid start to his PGA Tour career. In 2015, he posted 3 top 10s and 7 top 25s, maintaining his tour card. And he's building on that success with his 2016 sophomore campaign, carding 1 top 10 and 3 top 25s so far this season.
I'm out here every week competing against these guys. I'm still trying to win each week, still trying to go out and do my best, but the view and the attitude that I take is a little bit different having full status.
Brad Fritsch is charging through the Web.com Tour, picking up his first career victory earlier this year at the Servian Treja Championship presented by FXT in Cartagena, Colombia, followed by a second-place finish in Mexico. The veteran from Ottawa, Ontario, currently sits in 3rd place on the Web.com Tour money list and is in good position to lock down a return trip to the PGA Tour.
PGA Tour is the best professional golf tour in the world, but a lot of those players are coming from the Web.com Tour, and more are coming each year. The Web.com Tour prepares you like no other tour does for the PGA Tour.
Fritsch and Hadwin are part of the contingent from the Mackenzie Tour ranks who are carrying the banner for Canadian golf.
There's a ton of Canadians out there that love golf, always looking for the guy who's going to be the next Mike Weir, to win the major and capture everyone's imagination.
I don't feel pressure to perform from the outside. I just feel support, honestly, especially from the Canadian fans and the Canadian public when they come out and support Canadian golf.
There will be more Canadian pride on display this year than ever before, when golf returns to the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio for the first time in more than 100 years. And it's on everyone's mind.
I could just imagine, walking out and opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies, and there's an extra amount of pride when you throw that Canadian flag over your back. It'd be pretty amazing.
It'd be a tremendous honor for me to represent Canada if I end up being on that team in Rio. There's a lot of golf between now and then. I think the cutoff isn't until early in July. Right now I'm focusing on, each and every week I'm on tour trying to compete and get better out here. If I do a good job of that, then I'll be representing Canada in the Olympics. To have that opportunity to represent Canada, I think would be no bigger thrill.
It's definitely a goal to be in the Olympics. Winning a gold medal is something obviously you don't really think about when I was growing up because it wasn't really an option. To have that experience to be able to play in that would be really exciting.
After the break,
all right, it's gonna go real right.
We say a fond farewell to 2015. This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. Here are 5 players to keep an eye on this season on the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada. 19-year-old Austin Connolly kicks off his first full season on tour with exempt status through the first 4 events. BC's Ryan Williams, an 8-year veteran of the tour, finished 6th on the Order of Merit last year and has 11 career top 10s on his resume. One of the top amateurs in the world, Matt Naismith, won twice at the University of South Carolina and finished as the university's all-time leader in top 10s with 24. 19-year-old Aaron Wise is a 4-time collegiate champion from the University of Oregon. He earned fully exempt status on the Mackenzie Tour as a Q School medalist. And Ontario native Corey Connors currently sits 2nd on PGA Tour Latino America's Order of Merit. He'll head north after finishing the spring season in Latin America.
This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada!
While the competition on the course was fierce last season, the boys on the Mackenzie Tour always managed to enjoy life outside the ropes, creating lasting memories along the way.
Oh, we got weeds.
Weeds again. Got some weeds, that's all we got.
A grass bass?
Grass bass. Catch of the day, a lettuce wedge.
All of these airplanes are historical artifacts, but we fly them. Most of what we're seeing in here is World War II era. This is the airplane that stopped the Bismarck. There's only one other flying in the world, and that's by the British Navy.
Wow, that was insane. I couldn't imagine more than 4 Gs. Any more than that, no way.
From Vancouver to London, adventure was around every corner.
It was pretty unbelievable. I mean, when you can go just straight off the water over some pretty big buildings, I mean, you can't get that anywhere.
Every tour stop was a chance to dig into local culture.
The beer has been used to make everything on the plate. Please sit down and make yourself comfortable. The beer is cold, the food's hot.
Cheers to Smith Wesson Primal Cut.
Yeah, bon appetit.
and enjoy the beauty that is the Canadian countryside.
We're escaping the golf course today and going to see Kakabeka Falls.
I think it's amazing. In New Zealand, we're about as geographically far away from polar bears as possible, so it's cool to come up and see and learn all about them.
Their cross-country journey was also a chance to give back to the communities that make each tournament run.
To be that role model figure for these kids and trying to set an example, not only for a profession, a sport, but in life itself, to see a smile on their faces and the enjoyment they get it's priceless.
The Rideau home is 100% Second World War, Korean War veteran occupied, male and female.
That's me behind. I'd been shot down 4 days before. I walked along a country road and the Germans picked me up.
You look pretty mean there.
Well, I wasn't very happy.
Although they're a little older now, you can really see the vibrant selves that they were, and you can hear in their voice and in their stories. They got a lot of spunk. Sacrifices they made, it's pretty inspiring.
All right, it's gonna go a little right.
That's what golf's really all about, especially for them, you know, at this age. And it's so cool to see that they have a great time out here.
Well, it was pretty fun, and I'm pretty impressed with myself because I hit quite a few good shots.
It's always nice to do stuff for a cause. You know, the PGA Tour Canada does a lot for charity, you know, as the PGA Tour does, and it's really nice to see.
The 2016 season has begun, and we're excited for new faces and new memories. We kick it off this week in the beautiful city of Vancouver with the Freedom 55 Financial Open. We'll have all the highlights from Point Grey Golf and Country Club next week on This is the Mackenzie Tour PGA Tour Canada.